Live. All right, we are so in.
We Discord ping.
Yeah, we need to. I don't even have a stream announce channel.
At here in announce.
At here, first stream of the tournament live now. Amamya Kokoro versus Flameztear. All right, fantastic. We are so in. They have already started the map. Looks like the skin loaded in properly, which is nice, and the background dim is fine.
Background dim is always fine.
We might be in.
We are in.
Game is really quiet. Okay, we go up to like 20%. That should be acceptable. It was really quiet, actually. I forgot to turn it the other way.
Flameztear is winning this pick, by the way.
Flameztear is winning this.
First pick. Bans were Hard Rock 2 from Amamya Kokoro and Hard Rock 15 from Flameztear.
This is a good first pick for Flameztear. Known tapping player. Very good at these bursty styled tapping favored picks. Hard Rock 1, especially being 3 minutes long, gives him a lot of opportunities to capitalize on this combo. This section's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, section's a little wild.
Yeah. Very different from the rest of the map. Like, there's a couple of bursts, but it really does provide a shift. And Flameztear does over-aim the burst right after the slider section. Quarter of the way left in the map to go. Amamya Kokoro not too far behind. 500 combo with a quarter of the way to go. Could potentially make some moves at the ending, but Flameztear would have to miss a bit.
Well, Flameztear does miss, but again, I think we need some chain misses. This is a 200,000 advantage in a 1v1, which is quite the large score difference.
Yeah, that's not small.
No, if you're in 4v4, that's like you're down 800k, and you're kind of like, all right, like the map's kind of over here.
Flameztear gets slow slider at the ending. I think it's a little bit too late, potentially. Amamya Kokoro, and he does get a little bit tripped up on the tapping at the ending here. This section's pretty quick into the end. Both players having a bit of trouble, but Flameztear closing it out with 630k on the smallest circle size map of the pool. Well, biggest circles, but smallest number. Very good start for that. Amamya Kokoro actually technically has 120 seconds to pick a map. That's interesting. You said you have 60 seconds to pick a map and then did MP timer 120. I respect that.
That is interesting.
That's actually...
It is
120.
When I set up the ref sheet, it was 60 seconds on the wiki.
It was
is
60
no
seconds.
60 seconds on the wiki.
I think it was 60 seconds for the... Did I not? Do I need to change it? Let me double check. I may need to change it if it's not. Also, thank you, client, for not syncing my music properly. This is a great song. I love this song. I'm very, very happy that people are picking
it says
this. 2
minutes for both now, so I will just change that on the ref sheet.
Yeah, for qualifiers, I think I made it 60 seconds, and then I think for regular matches was 2. If not, if it doesn't say that for qualifiers, I need to update that on the wiki for later. No, I just didn't put a time in between maps for qualifiers.
Well, the ref sheet should say 2 minutes now.
We are so locked in.
The power of templates.
The power of templates, very beautiful thing. Flameztear, good on the first pick. Not quite as known for his tech playing as he is for the tapping, so we'll see how he fares on My Love. Amamya Kokoro, very, very good tech player.
Yeah, definitely a favorite pick for Amamya Kokoro, so hopefully this goes well for them. Amamya Kokoro, much higher seeding out of qualifiers as well. I think this is like seed 8 versus 25 or something similar. So
yeah,
you're expecting Amamya Kokoro to do pretty well in this match.
This is actually a Amamya Kokoro seeded 4th. This is a 4-29 matchup.
Wow.
So even larger than you'd think. Both players going to find a break at the beginning, though. Going to mess up those quick back and forths. I definitely expect to get some choice words about this map and map pool feedback. This map is tough. This is actually, I gave this map to Ryan for feedback, Ryuke, and he told me that this map was ridiculously hard for this pool. Which is kind of why I left it in.
This guy just likes tech players.
If he told me it was normal, I would have been like, I gotta change it. But we had so little tech in this pool that I was like, you know what? We gotta have a hard tech map, right? To make up for the lack of it. Amamya Kokoro doing really well in this middle section.
Yeah, I mean, Flameztear score is not bad. Like 93, 94 ACK on this is honestly not that bad. This is very hard to ACK. So Amamya Kokoro FCing with 96 is really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, Amamya Kokoro known for their tech abilities just across multiple... I mean, even in OWC for South Korea, Amamya Kokoro is a powerhouse for tech maps. And a very good Hard Rock player to boot, so I am not surprised in the slightest that he is having a fantastic time on his beginning pick here. Yeah. This is a tournament for some of the best Hard Rock players, and every Hard Rock player is good at a different thing, and Amamya Kokoro not the 4th seed for no reason. Doing well at the skill cap maps. Oh my goodness, if he hits this whole section, I'm gonna lose it. He breaks on the 1/3.
Oh, really? Well, he's up more than double Flameztear score now, so map's pretty much over. I mean, there is room for a comeback. We are 2/3 of the way into the map, so there's still technically time, but it'd have to be major pop-offs from Flameztear, and that is not happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, Amamya would have to have a complete meltdown to throw away what is essentially a 4.5% accuracy lead almost, and like you said, double the score in the last quarter. So confident through the beginning of the map. Again, Flameztear simply just not his strong point when it comes to Hard Rock. These techier styled slider oriented picks, definitely something that Amamya Kokoro is going to be able to capitalize on in the remainder of this match. There's a couple maps like this, I think, left in the pool. Flameztear, however, he's got plenty to work with here. Unfortunately, Hard Rock 2 has been banned. Yeah, that slider stream is crazy.
I see it.
Ending section, another difficult bit here. So you thought it would be easy into the ending. It is not. All the way to the finish. Amamya Kokoro actually having more trouble on these 1/3 than I thought he would. I definitely didn't think that they were that much harder than everything else.
1/3 slider patterns on Hard Rock are really hard.
Yeah.
At least in my experience, like I'm not the best Hard Rock player, but 1/3 slider tech on Hard Rock is just so many things all at once. It becomes really, really difficult.
A good pick for Amamya Kokoro. He knows what he's good at. He knows what he needed there. 456k to 191k. A far larger gap than the first pick for Flameztear, but it's a point nonetheless for each. As we go into the next pick for Flameztear, with Hard Rock 2 gone, it's going to be something somewhat tapping oriented, I imagine. It's Hard Rock 3. It's going to go in for the aim a little bit. Awkward aim alt. I can't tell if Amamya Kokoro is pleased with this pick, saying as in like good or like apprehensive
Unclear.
Unclear. Instructions unclear. Need to see map.
Yeah. Amamya Kokoro is a good alt player, so is Flameztear. I expect this to be like pretty competitive between the two of them, all things considered.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one turns out after I go and grab myself something to drink so that my voice does not die mid-map.
I agree. I think that's a great idea. It is time for map number 2 for Flameztear here. Again, this is a best of 9 in these early rounds here. So first to 5 is going to be the one to win this match here, which leaves these players with very little breathing room when it comes to missing picks or getting their points on the board here. So you've got to hope for the sake of both of these players that they are confident in these early maps here. It doesn't look like either of these players are going to opt for single tapping this map. Flameztear is going to find the most awkward slider break I have ever seen in the history of slider breaks. Let's hope that doesn't make the difference between him winning and losing this map. If Amamya Kokoro is able to FC, then that might throw him. Flameztear almost got slow slidered again, actually, right there. He's just got to clean it up a little bit. He's got the accuracy to match up with Amamya Kokoro here. 98.2 to 97.8. Not too far off as we get into the actual part of the map. Again, both players opting in to alternate this one. No single tapping happening right now. It does make this a little bit easier in terms of a requirement if you alternate it. Flameztear going to find a little bit of an over-aim on the right-hand side, unfortunately, as Amamya Kokoro maintains their strong performance. Flameztear going to find one more break. Amamya Kokoro going to miss the linear triple there. I think that's one of the harder patterns in this map overall. That's the first key eye going to come to an end on this next section right here, but it's 98.6 to 97.3 in terms of accuracy. Combo dropping once again for Flameztear, going to put him firmly in the rear into the halfway point. Not the best scenario to be down a breakpoint this early in a match, but he'll have to recover. Looking for anything here for Flameztear to be able to get back into his own pick. Amamya Kokoro does need to find a break on this next section for that to happen. It's certainly not out of the question. It's 100,000 score. Both players with relatively similar combos and about a quarter of the way left to go in the map. Flameztear had trouble with those first two breaks, but it's all on Amamya Kokoro now to find the break, and Flameztear going to under-aim one more slider.
Yeah, and that pretty much seals it up. I mean, it was winnable up until that point, but at this point, you're just looking to see how big of a score gap Amamya Kokoro can generate here, and it's not going to be a huge one. It's going to be 150k, pretty much staying around there with that slider break from Amamya Kokoro. But the damage is done, and that is a break point now for seed number 4 out of qualifiers.
Not a bad start here for Amamya Kokoro, proving why he was as high in qualifiers as he was. Flameztear, a great Hard Rock player, not quite able to match up on the alternating pick to start here. 300, almost 400k going to be finishing into the ending here onto the last spinner. Almost up to par, but definitely uncertain on some of the right-hand side jumps. I actually noticed most of the trouble there. Flameztear finding under and over aims pretty frequently on the right. But it's only one breakpoint. Certainly not the end of the world, but in a best of 9, you really only have that 1 point of fluctuation that you want to deal with. Otherwise, it will get out of hand as Amamya Kokoro immediately picks into Hard Rock 5.
They have picked only the low circle size maps, only the big circles so far. From here, they are going to be forced into picking slightly higher circle size going forward, as the lowest circle size left in the pool is CS 5.6 or so now.
Pick Madiba. Do it.
But for now, we get the Gordon alt finger control map here, Shonen wa Sora Otaroru by Power of Nature. It's basically alt and aim control and flow aim and finger control in one map, and then there's also a stream section.
That there is.
BPM change later on.
Well, interested to see what happens there. Amamya, so far, the narrative we've been kind of going on is Amamya the stronger gimmick finger control player, Flameztear stronger at mechanics. So if Flameztear is able to keep the combo at least until the ending stream section, he may be able to take advantage of his ability to play through that a little bit more comfortably, although Amamya Kokoro is certainly no stranger to speed by any means. Pretty good on the cuts right now for both players as we come to the conclusion of the 1/3 mark in the map now. Rhythm changes not seeming to be an issue. Accuracy, the only thing putting Flameztear in the rear right now.
Look at the act for Amamya Kokoro. I mean, 97.9 halfway through the pick is crazy accuracy.
Very good accuracy.
Like, this is some obscene hack from Amamya Kokoro right now. This map with Hard Rock is just so difficult to hack, and so many similar types of maps follow that same notion, but you're going to see especially these finger control maps throughout the tournament have very low average accuracy, and I would consider Flameztear's probably average or slightly below on this map for this stage, but 98 is sick.
That is crazy. And, you know, Flameztear with an above-average performance to boot as well. Gonna actually, like I mentioned... Oh, no! I was gonna say, I mentioned at the beginning that if he could make it through the finger control, that stream section may give him an advantage, but just barely not holding on for long enough.
It was this close. He was this close to greatness.
So close.
A better combo for Flameztear, but the AK gaming for Amamya Kokoro keeps them in the lead, and it gives him a 3-1 score advantage in the match. Nicely done from Amamya Kokoro on the accuracy in particular. Both players getting above 700k. They're a very close map, but yeah, I mean, 63 to 26 hundreds in favor of Amamya Kokoro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you also have to think this is a Hard Rock only tournament, and that only serves to raise the OD of these picks, making that finger control and AC even more difficult to achieve. So that 100 count for Amamya Kokoro, quite impressive there. Flameztear.
And plus, on aim control picks like this, the ability to have snappy enough aim to get onto nodes and be able to tap on time at once is even more difficult. And I feel like that kind of goes less talked about than stuff like the OD on Hard Rock. The OD obviously makes it more difficult, but at the same time, the increased strain on aim control. If you've ever played a map with big spacing cut doubles, you know what I'm talking about. The increased strain on aim control makes it so much more difficult to tap on time. It makes you want to cheese, so you have more time to focus on that aim. So getting that high of accuracy, really, really good from Amamya Kokoro. And now Hard Rock 8 for Flameztear.
I am not going to lie, this is not the pick that I thought Flameztear was going to go for at this juncture in the match right now. Especially with maps like Flamingo still being up and Shippujinrai, which is like the flow aim stream pick of this pool. Very interesting to see him going for Hokoriyuki here. But I like it. I like the, taking maybe a different avenue in this match for Flameztear. He is going to have to rethink his picking strategy now. He has to win this and then get a break point immediately after. Amamya Kokoro has looked really good on the finger control today, right? A little bit, better on those sorts of maps. And if you take a look at this pool, Microwave still up. You've still got Day by Day in Hard Rock 7. Axion and Hard Rock 12. There's plenty of maps left that Amamya Kokoro should have no trouble with here. So Flameztear, he's going to have to open some stuff up for himself. And I think he's banking on that consistency with a 5.5 minute map here in Hard Rock 8.
Well, we'll see if this one works out. As you said, 5.5 minute pick here. Still finger control focused with the low BPM. Doesn't go talked about a ton, more so in rank restricted tournaments where you get these really low star rating pools, like 5.5 stars or so. And at that star rating, the Hard Rock finger control picks are literally just low BPM stream maps with Hard Rock, because hacking low BPM streams with Hard Rock is difficult. So again, when you have the aim control cuts worked into this map as well, the AC is going to get more and more difficult. more of that aim control is not what I expected from Flameztear after the last 2 alt maps went the way of Amamya Kokoro, but I think Flameztear just saying, hey, I can probably do better on this than I can on a lot of the other picks left in the pool, like maybe Shikujin and I. Flameztear did ban out the higher circle size picks, so maybe that precision, not something that he's super comfortable on.
Definitely, I think something he's been trying to avoid. And, you know, I think a perk of this map, especially being 5.5 minutes, is while this map is not easy, it's also not one of the higher skill cap maps in the pool. So if Flameztear can maintain his consistency on this and hope that Amamya Kokoro finds a break somewhere along the course of this pick right here, he has a lot of opportunity to build up some free combo and score in the middle here. Unfortunately, Amamya Kokoro doing just slightly better right now. Flameztear found a bit of an over-aim at one of those beginning streams, but they're pretty much dead even right now. We'll see if his potential gamble pays off. It's something that I kind of discussed in the showcase, right? I basically said, you know, this is a great map. It's not particularly hard, but I dare you to combo this map, right? It's so many opportunities to find a break. Oh, accuracy not helping too much as well here. Amamya Kokoro once again maintaining about a 2% AC lead.
99 to 97 this time though, so not quite as big as a gap as on the previous map, and Flameztear still within touching distance, right? Not far back at all, still on a reverse choke, about 50 combo and percent and a half, 2% act back. So not unwinnable, but you are praying for a break from Amamya Kokoro. On a long map like this, with Amamya Kokoro's nerves and shake, it seems more doable than usual. You're starting to see some of the shake come out, actually, already from Amamya Kokoro. So maybe it is doable. Oh. You know, why speak?
The dream dies. Man, yeah, Amamya Kokoro, those shakes, we see them so often, but for some reason, it just seems to never have an effect on his combo at all. We're past halfway now, and unfortunately, that is still combo for Amamya Kokoro. Flameztear found that was his second break after the beginning. And I mean, you know, as tragic as it is to see, this is the, you know, 4 versus 28 seed match, 29 seed matchup, right? So it's technically is expected, but you do, you know, almost want to see a little bit more out of Flameztear because if you know how good he is.
Yeah, I mean, you needed well over 400,000 average score in qualifiers to get in at all. So of course, even the 29th seed is still going to be very good. And the scores from Flameztear this match have been good. Flameztear took a point. Flameztear got 700k on the previous pick. And he's on track to get, you know, 600k or so on this map as well if he keeps up the combo here in the back half. But that's just not enough when you're against one of the best players in the tournament.
Yeah, simply a round of 32 difference here, going up against someone who is, you know, a potential contender for top 3 even. Given, you know, Amamya Kokoro's ability to play some of the gimmickier styled maps in this pool, and even going forward with that skill cap as well. A lot of good contenders in this tournament, though. We saw those qualifiers results. Malashevsky obviously continuing to impress over and over again every single tournament. MCY4, the star from the roundtable qualifying tournament, once again returning for that second seed. And then Zudinator in third. No surprise there. Strong hard rock player, strong aim player as well. So you've got some big names above Amamya Kokoro here. So for him to pull out 4th place in qualifiers speaks volumes to how strong they are. This accuracy is speaking volumes right now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what can you do?
What can you do?
Unfortunate for Flameztear. Yeah, I mean, this is the seeding difference manifest, right? This is kind of what you expect from these early stage high seed versus low seed matchups. Flameztear, I don't think is picking poorly. You know, is picking the speed first. Obviously, the second speed map in the pool banned out by Amamya Kokoro, and is picking stuff that he is usually good on. And I think that's kind of what you have to do into much higher seeded players, right? Players who are just generally better and with higher average score across the pool. If you can pick into the weakness, you do. That's what he already did. If you can't pick into a weakness when the speed maps are gone, in this case, just pick what you're good at and hope to outscore. And unfortunately, that's not working, but I don't think it's a bad strategy at all from Flameztear. This is just Amamya Kokoro being good. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only thing that I maybe would have liked to see from Flameztear is a little bit more favored picks into, mechanics. Flameztear definitely better at maybe some of the faster stuff, and obviously I think better in terms of consistency at, the tapping maps. And Amamya Kokoro continues to go for these gimmick stuff, right? It's Lizrim now, keeps going in for this, but I really would have liked to see Flameztear maybe over Hokori Yuki, which is kind of low BPM finger control ACK-based map, maybe going for something like Mediba that is maybe a little bit more mechanics-based, or even something like Hard Rock 9 or Hard Rock 10 that I mentioned, where you're either looking for that mechanics aim or flow aim that we know Flameztear is so good at. And, I'd be very interested to know why he, maybe desired to go for Hard Rock 8 over one of those other picks.
This guy just wants to see Mediba get picked.
I want, but unfortunately, we're not. Mediba. I wish we could see Mediba this weekend. I think we will. I think we'll see Mediba at least once.
At some point.
Someone will be crazy enough.
I mean, one of the like golden rules of low seed versus high seed matchups, right, is if you are the low seed, you pick no mod 1 in a normal tournament because it's RNG, and if they shit miss, then you win a point. Flameztear not going with that here definitely is a little interesting. And the other golden rule is like, yeah, pick what you're good at. Flameztear, I guess, just better on the alt grind recently than on the flow aim, maybe. Or maybe thinking, hey, the flow aim section in Shippuden Rai is just too hard, right? And if you're not able to get a good score on a map like that, then what is the point of picking it into somebody who almost certainly is? You never know what players have done in practice and what scores they actually have. Maybe on paper it looks good, but in practice, that specific map is just not good for him. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully he's able to maybe sneak out another map here with Lizrim. You mentioned earlier, Flameztear kind of avoiding these smaller CS maps in this pool. And with Amamya Kokoro's current accuracy at the beginning of this pick and Flameztear already having found a miss, you've got to wonder if there was a reason for that. He does have some combo, but we're a quarter of the way into the map, and if Amamya Kokoro maintains this comfortable performance, it will be hard.
There's another chain miss for Flameztear on one of those super high spacing cut streams there. And Amamya Kokoro now off to the races, 99 ACK, 99.5 almost. And no trouble so far on any of the cut streams or slider patterns. No break on the finger control there. No breaks or ACK drops even on the 1/3s. Finally, both players break there, and it's a lucky break for Flameztear, but at the same time, no combo to take advantage of Amamya Kokoro's miss with a miss of his own, and not able to keep pace up until that point. So the score lead for Amamya, did they both just miss the exact same?
I think they did. I think they both left that double too easy or too early.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
Whoops.
Reset once again. Whoops. There's another whoopsie from Flameztear, and at this point, I think the map is over. The match is over. This is probably the win for Amamya Kokoro. No combo for Flameztear going into the last quarter of the map, and a nearly 200,000 score lead. GG written in smoke. And sometimes I say don't call it too early, but in this case, I probably agree. 200k score lead within the last quarter of the map is near impossible to claw back.
Yeah, I mean, at this venture, especially with that accuracy, I think Flameztear, he's been around long enough. He knows what he can do. He knows what happens in these tournament matches, at that point in a pick. Just simply not enough time left for anything to happen there. And Amamya Kokoro shows us why they are the 4th seed in this tournament with a very, very confident 5-1. What can you do? What can you do if you're Flameztear in this matchup, right? You got to come in and do your best, and, unfortunately, I think we say this a lot, and it's been, time and time again, but, when your opponent is one of the best players in the tournament, sometimes your best simply, may just not be enough in that match. A pretty late match for Flameztear, too. It's about 11:30 for him in the evening, so very late.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad performance at all from Flameztear. Just not quite able to win it out, and solidly done from Amamya Kokoro, converting on the early seeding advantage and able to win pretty easily here. Nicely done.
Very cool. Amamya Kokoro advancing to the next round in the winner's bracket. Going to be facing off against the winner of Saiku and Ramindra. That's going to be a good matchup between those two. That's a 13 and 20 seed matchup, but it's looking good for Amamya Kokoro so far. Flameztear, falling to the loser's bracket, will face the loser of Saiku versus Ramindra. That matchup will not be decided until late tomorrow if you're North America, or 3 UTC Sundays, so pretty early if you are not North America. But a good first match of the weekend. Amamya Kokoro showing that dominance. We have... Let me go over the stream schedule really quick. I'm going to pull this up. We will be back with the next match. I think I am one of few streamers for this tournament right now, so don't expect any of the early matches to get streamed, unfortunately. I apologize. I would love to accommodate all of the people that schedule early matches because that's what's comfortable for them, but I simply just cannot stream a 12:30 UTC match at 7 in the morning.
The 7:30 a.m. match. Let's go.
Yeah, so real. So please expect every match after like 14 to 15 UTC to be streamed. So the first match of tomorrow that you're actually going to get to see is going to be the 15 UTC match, which is Malashevsky versus Hihihaha 142. We are going to have matches not immediately following that. We'll have MCY4 versus Richo at 17:30, Xylus versus Rebo at 19, and then at 20 UTC we will have his Kitten versus Defi, and then that'll skip to the Sunday matches after that. So we'll try and get as many of those streamed for you as possible. Hopefully we can get more and more as the weekends go on. There will be less matches, so it should be easier to get everything streamed. Hopefully. It's been a good first match. Thanks to Dio for joining me last minute here.
Makes you chillier for streaming and hosting and map pulling and the tournament.
So much fun. We love it here. We are going to go offline for now. We'll see you all at 15 UTC tomorrow for our first seed versus 32nd seed matchup, and we will catch you all then.